YouTube, welcome back to Wtf Rc Cars. So, we have 20101 firmware on our NB4 and I'm really glad they added this feature to it. So I'm going to show you the setup and everything for the INR GYB, the gyro receiver with SVC settings on it. And I'm going to show you how you can set this up now on the NB4, which you previously couldn't. You'd have to go into menu, and there was also the custom presets that weren't there as well that the Pro had. We've now got all that on the NB4. So let's bring you in for a close-up look and see how we get this thing connected and see what it does. Right, so first thing we'll need to do, show you how to set a model memory up on it. So you choose the memory, you can change the name if you want, so we can change this, so we'll just have this test SVC, channel number definitions 4 because it's an INR4, radio frequency setup, you need it on two-way, so we're going to jump out of that. Then we're going to go to his RX bind menu. As interface protocol, we're just doing PWM on all four, so all four channels can work for servos if we need to. Fail safes, I have iBus set to no output, and these are free. You can set them up however you like. You can set a fixed value for them all, so you can set it all to 0 if you want. And then it's got a test button, so you can press it, you press and hold it, and it'll basically disable the output when you've got it pressed. So it'll turn RF off once you press it, and you can make sure your car don't shoot off. But basically, we're going to go bind set, enhanced, start channel steering. Then we're going to start it binding. Then you're going to want to hold your bind button down and power up the RC.
Binding successful.
You'll see it'll bind. So first thing I'm going to do, try and turn wheels, try and rev the throttle. Just remember that this one's not got a diff in front. So as forward and back's working, but our steering's back to front. So we're going to go in, we're going to reverse the steering. Now bear in mind, this only changes the wheel input. This does not change the SVC. And as a rule, if you need to reverse the steering on here, you usually got to reverse it on the SVC as well. So the car's now bound. If we move the car, you'll see there's no input from the stability control as stock. So we're gonna first off go to his SVC menu. It's going to tell you need to calibrate it. So just leave the RC completely still and it'll calibrate. If I just move that to one side. So if we go to gyro calibrate, you should see the light flash.
Calibration successful.
So that's all it does when it calibrates. Neutral calibration. Confirm middle calibration before entering. Please put the direction and the throttle in the middle. So this is basically, you need to tell it that this is your inputs are central on this. So you want to set your steering and everything up first before you come in and do this. So set your trims and everything. Once you've got them perfect, this is asking you for what will be the input to the SVC when you're doing nothing.
Calibration successful.
So if we then go to turn it on, it's going to go to this screen. So you have to assign a button to turn it on. So I'm going to go down here. We're going to scroll down and smart vehicle control. We're going to select that. You want it to set as turn so it can turn it on and off. And then if you back out to the menu, when you press the button, you can see that's turning it on and off. Then if we have it turned on and we grab the RC, you'll see that the wheels are going the wrong way. So this is where you have to reverse it in here. Now you see the wheels are actually turning the way that you'd want them to turn. They're turning into the skid. So I've been asked that question a few times. If you reverse the steering, you're going to have to reverse it in here as well. So we've got a bunch of settings here, and it's worth reading through the instructions on this, what all this does. But basically you've got your throttle gain, your steering gain, your priority, and depending on how you set the priority will depend on whether it will try and keep your vehicle in a straight line but go for a wider turning circle, or go for whatever the narrowest turning circle it can get, but then let the vehicle spin more. And that's basically how you set the priority. In the advanced menu, you've got a bunch of different options here that you can set, and you can go into each one and you can set a bunch of settings for that particular profile. So you can have each one of these set up for different cars, or you can have them set up for different sort of reaction, so you can quickly flick through them. Now, if we come out and we go to our assignments, so I'm going to set TR3. So we want this on normal. Function, we're going to go down, and then when we get to our SVC settings, so the first one, I'm going to have steering gain. Then our next one, I'm going to come down to SVC again, and I'm going to have that as throttle gain. Then one of us variable resistors on the back. So we're going to go down to SVC. So we're going to set 1 to priority. And then we're going to set the other one to wheel gain. You can set any of these. It really depends. You've got a whole bunch of settings on it. And I believe there's also one that we can set in here. So if we go for the other button, I want that set to turn. So type, we can then set that. So if we go back to SVC, we can see what all these do. So as you press it, this button, it'll go through the different car types. So basically think of these as just profiles basically. So you can set different profiles for each setting on this, and then at the touch of a button you can jump through to different ones. Quite useful. Then basically as we move,
Center point.
so we've got as wheel gain. Then on this one, we can change the priority all the way up to 100 and back down. Then on one of those wheels, we've got as throttle gain. And on the other one, we've got as steering gain. Now you can go into these and you can change which direction. So on this, rolling backwards goes up. So that's set on both of them. So you roll forward to go down, backwards to go up. If you wanted to change that, you can go into the assignments. You can go into whichever one you're looking at, and you can change the direction to reverse. So if we go in these and reverse them both, then as we roll back, it goes down. As you roll forward, it goes up. Really depends on which makes more sense to you. But as you can see, if we have control on but 0 gain, won't do anything. If we have more gain, so if we crank this all the way up, you'll get a crazy amount of correction as it tries to slide and control itself. And it's exactly the same with throttle. The more gain you have, the more it will kick in and limit the throttle to try and bring the vehicle back under control. but you can just turn it all off at the touch of a button. But then you've also got profiles that you can set. So really, really nice that they've actually added all the assignability now back to the NB4. But yeah, that just about covers all the features for SVC and how you would assign them to various different buttons. And I do like the way it comes up on screen to tell you which one you're changing. So that's very useful. Not sure if we can actually have this assigned, but let's have a look. So we can have SVC. We can also have steering gain. I'm going to change that one to throttle gain. Then we'll change the next one to priority. So now you can see it all the time on the screen. You can tell if it's on or off. And you can see the actual priority setting, steering gain and throttle gain all on the screen, and the status of whether it's on or off. And then just flick through your modes. But yeah, you can have quite a lot of the information that was kind of missing from the NB4. But that's it all set up, and hopefully that makes sense, and you can have a lot of fun with full vehicle stability control now on the NB4. But let's wrap this one up. So there you have it. The INR4 GYB, full stability control, and finally all the setups for the NB4. Just same as there is on the Pro. Does give it a lot more functionality, makes it a lot more user-friendly as well. But thanks again for watching WTF Rc Cars. If you like this kind of content, don't forget to like and subscribe, hit the notification bell, share to friends and family, and I'll catch you guys again in the next one.